Recording will start now.
Sir, Professor, it is started. Professor,
Yeah,
recording started.
Professor, end. Ranganathan sir. Professor Ranganathan sir.
Hello. Yeah, sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
No, sir, we'll start. Sir. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
The system little bit stuck.
Okay.
We'll start, sir.
Okay. Sure, ready? We're ready from my end.
So good morning to one and all. So sorry for the technical glitch which happened because of some small problem with the system. So thank you once again for joining in all for this orientation session on National Innovation and Startup Policy organized by SEC, MHRD Institution Innovation Council. So on behalf of MHRD Institution Innovation Council, I extend a hearty welcome to each and everyone for this orientation session on National Innovation and Startup Policy. So today's session will be delivered by Vaidyanathan sir, who is Professor Mechanical Engineering of Sri Sairam Engineering College, having rich experience in industry as well as in teaching. So, sir is here, and on behalf of MHRD IIC, I extend a hearty welcome to sir for accepting and for delivering this session on National Innovation Startup Policy. So, sir will be briefing about it in a short while. And I also take this opportunity to welcome all the members of Institution Innovation Council and all faculty members who have joined in for this session, and especially for the students who have taken pains to join in for this session. So yesterday, I hope your exams would have got over. So today, since it's really an honor for you. We have arranged this session, so this session would be really interesting, and we hope that everybody will be gaining more rich experience from Professor Sir, who's going to deliver this session. Followed by which we have one more session after this, which will be handled by our IPR in charge, Dr. K Madam. So hearty welcome to Madam also in this lecture for joining in for this very rich session. So not taking much of the time, I now request Professor Dr. Vaidyanathan sir to kindly take over the session. Please, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, Professor. This is a very short lecture. I will not talk too much. Essentially, what I will do is remove the cobwebs when it comes to startup or incubation and all. But let me once again welcome my young friends, because one of the things which keeps me in college is all the young students, because my background is different. So I will straight go to the presentation mode. So give me a minute to open the PPTs, please. I'm opening PPT. I hope you are all able to hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Fine. It's opening PPT. It will take a little time.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Okay. First screen is just a formality. Okay. Now, I have divided my lecture in a very short 2-3 formats. One is what is NISP. Of course, everybody knows the full form, but something more than this involved, which I will try to explain. Second is, why do we need it? This is what most of the youngsters would be asking. Sir, we have come to the college, we are studying, we are passing out the exam, we are going for a job. Why do we need this? This will be totally based on my own experience, which is quite large. Then, after that, I will just say how to implement it. So, when we come to the NISP, we know it stands for National Innovation and Startup Policy. But various words are used: innovation, startup, research, and all. So, initially, I will try to remove those cobwebs. Then, why do we need it? This, we have to go to the engineering education system, which was prevailing when I was a student. From that, I will try to come. Then, how does it implement it? Because the interest of college is to implement this. And it needs a quality policy, which I am not going to talk very long. It will be quite short because it will be available at places. Finally, one thing, your students will ask, why should I go for it? What do I going to get from it? So these are the points I'm going to talk about it. Now let us come back to the objective of NISP. It's very, very clear objectives are there. It is to promote the culture of innovation. This is a very sad thing in our country. Our system of education has just not promoted the innovation. And these are big lacuna in our educational system, engineering education. Our days were different. It was naturally used to come from a few corners. Okay. Second objective is to make innovation focal point of our education system. So all these young students should really look at it. Our system of education is going to change in the coming few years, where attending the class, getting the grading is not going to get much importance. What it will get importance is the innovation. And one purpose is to bring the formal guidelines for innovation. These are the three purposes of this NISP. Now, let us get it. How did it come? This NISP has been brought out by a committee which was headed by Professor Ashok Junjunwala of IIT Madras. He is at present a faculty in IIT Madras. But I know him because I am from IIT Bombay and he was a student of IIT Kanpur. He's a basically electrical engineer, and as most of the people they do after doing his post-graduation abroad, he joined IIT Madras as a professor. He's the person behind the startup in IIT Madras, and he hails from a very scholar family. Even his sons are all IITians. So the national policy is actually formed under the chairmanship of Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala. We will talk very little about that. Let us first understand what is innovation. I have seen in my stay in industry, I have been mostly a development person, technology and development person, not from commercial side. I have seen this research and innovation are very vaguely used. I have seen when the people change the layout in their drawing room of the furniture, they call it research. It is not a research. Okay. At the most, somebody can call it little bit innovation to suit the condition. So what is really innovation? Innovation is to introduce a new method or device, something which is newly introduced. A innovation can be patented, but research is different from that. Okay. I'll give an example. Research is far more involved in it. It needs a very patient study. It needs a systematic study. You go back to the technology, see what has been done, and main purpose of research is that it has to fill a knowledge gap. That is what we look when a research is done in IIT. Have you filled up a knowledge gap? Whereas a innovation need not fill a knowledge gap. Suppose you take a PhD thesis of say 100 pages. All 100 pages will not be new. Maybe 60-65 pages will be making the background for it. The real knowledge gap which will cover, it will come only in theoretical analysis and in results and discussion. Compared to that, innovation is different. You need not go back into the past. You cater the present requirement. Fundamental difference is that innovation can be patented. As I understand, a research cannot be patented. So when we use these two terms, we have to be a little careful. Okay. So your PhD work is not an innovation, remember. It needs to have an element of innovation. Okay. Then what is startup? It is what we are assembled for. Dictionary meaning of startup is, it means to begin to do something or go into the action. But note the word, in startup, you have to go into the action. It can be just writing something on the paper. Of course, there can be a software startup. That's a different thing. Okay. And when you go up, you are raising the level. That is what it really means. Okay. Then, what is the entrepreneurship? We will come back more detail later to understand the entrepreneurship. The question is, as I said, why do we need it? You have to look back how the engineering college has developed. See, when I completed my engineering education, I had done it in 70s. The condition was very different. There were very few colleges. Big states like MP and UP will have 5 engineering colleges. Small states like Kerala will have 2 engineering colleges. State like Goa has just 1 engineering colleges. Intech used to be very few. Big branch like mechanical. In those days there was no IT, no ECE. Main branch was mechanical, electrical and civil. They will have 30 students. There used to be other branches, you may not be knowing about it, present day student. Another important branch was metallurgy and mining. Mining will have only 3 to 4 students. Metallurgy may have some 15 to 20 students. Branches like mechanical, electrical, civil, which were the main branch, they will have 30 students. Results used to be very tough. Ours was a 5-year course, not 4-year course, what you are having. And results were very tough. First year results will be something like 15%. As you grow, it will slightly increase. Second year, it may go to something like 25-30%. Third year may go to 40-45%. Fourth year may go to 70-75%. Final year results may be 85-90%. Now, there was another thing. If you fail in more than 2 papers, you have to repeat the whole years. There are nothing like what we have got. Arrears, carry forward. Western India has another terminology for it. They call ATKT. When my cousin's children were doing, they introduced me one day because they knew I am from IIT. I had met them. Then I asked my cousin, okay, what your son is doing? He said, okay, he's studying engineering, but he has got some ATKT. I said, what is ATKT? That is allowed to keep the term. You keep on growing. But our days is not like this. Totally, it was a different scenario. So finally, when you come out of the engineering colleges, very few engineers will come out. And it was possible to give them the job. There were few government organizations. If you are interested in a private, come to like Bombay and Madras, private industries are there, join them. And few bright students will go for higher education. We people who are the toppers, we only will go for MTech and PhDs. I remember in our batch, we are only 3 people who ultimately went for MTech and PhDs all completed. So it was very easy for government to give the job. Today it is not like that. We have got 5 lakh engineers coming in Tamil Nadu itself, I believe. Which government can give them the job? Second disadvantage was innovation was only very natural process. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't come out, okay, there are jobs are available. Now, after 70 years, we have woken up to that. We have realized our problem. 2 things: government cannot give the job. Second thing, we really need entrepreneurship. We have to start our own industry so that these engineers who are coming out of the college can be employed very meaningfully. And that brings us to the entrepreneurship. We'll again explain this entrepreneurship, the difference little more. Dictionary meaning of entrepreneur means to undertake. And you add the risk element in that and you become a self-employed. So entrepreneur means it's a really self-employment and also to give job to others. Definitely when you are self-employed and you are giving job to others, the element of leadership has to come. Okay. So this is how we come from incubation to entrepreneurship, which again I will explain you in a little different manner, which many of you may find it easier to understand because you're all engineering student and you have gone through mathematics and we IITians like to explain everything in a mathematical manner. So you have to pardon me for that, but there won't be any equation. Please rest assured about it. It's only making your concept little clear. Now I have seen in the college, every student comes to me, sir, we have got some new ideas. And I give a lot of time to them because I love to discuss with the youngsters. Every time they come, sir, we have got the new ideas. Fine, very good. You have got an idea. Now, your idea has to be put into practice. Some concrete has to come out. So, when the students come out, your output expected is some concrete, you have got an idea. They have idea about the drone, they will have idea about the space technology, everything. So, we want to take a project. Fine, good, go ahead with it. What is the first problem? The first problem is your idea has to be need some resources to bring it to the concrete level or output. So if you want to bring your idea to a concrete level, first thing you need is some financial support. Loosely we can say we can get some money. In industrial term, we will say capital. So if idea has to be converted to a concrete, it has to be a capital, money or idea. So mathematically we will say that your output is a function of capital mainly. Idea is a function of capital. Don't go for F1, F2, but you engineering students will understand is a function. If I say mathematically, it can be any equation, y is equal to mx plus c or y is equal to ax plus ax square plus bx plus c. You don't have to worry about it. In layman's terminology, understand that output depends on money or finance and idea. Now, is these two are adequate? These two are definitely not adequate. You have to put some labor some hard work. When you take up your project, may not be a very good example, but you have an idea which you give as your final year project or pre-final project. Maybe your parent finance it, but that is not adequate. You look for somebody who can fabricate it, who can machine it. If you are a mechanical student, you will go for a machining, fabrication, all this kind of the thing. You may come to the lab and get it fabricated, or you may outsource it. If you are a second branch student, when you work on robotics and all, you go to the people who can weld it, who can solder it. He can give to the shape to various links and everything. So your output is a function of some work input, some finance, some ideas. Don't go for the function. Say that your output depends on some input, some money, finance, and idea. Okay. But this again is not adequate. You need a place to work. When you ask someone to fabricate it, you will be coming to the mechanical department, go to the workshop, some other mechanic, he does all the work. So, if your idea has to take a concrete shape, what are the things you need? You need a place to work, which can be a lab. You have to put some input, you need a money. Same thing, if I am recoding it, delivered item, which comes from your idea, it needs a lab, it needs a work input, it needs capital, it needs ideas. If I put it in industrial jargon, your concrete or delivered item is a function or depends on land, labor, capital, and idea. Now, I can also say that every innovation, which is an idea, depends on these four items. Now the question comes, how a young man like you is going to get all this? You only have an idea. You can't go and ask your father, please finance me. If he's very magnanimous, rich, he may do that. But what about other these things? This is where startup comes into the picture. When government realized that innovation is going to be the real need of the hour, they started promoting startup. But before startup also, we need something. But question is, why government is coming to the educational colleges? One reason is, of course, I have already told, giving the employment. But more than that, you young brains are the fertile brains. They are neither corrupted nor hardened brain. It's a very sensitive brain. So ideas will come only in that sensitive brain, and it is expected that the faculties associated with the youngster, they will still have a sharp mind. This was the purpose of startup. Okay. Now, all engineering colleges with so many students, they are the real ground for this startup. Okay. And once you have got an idea and government tries to give you some capital, huge space is available for incubation, resources are available. So the first thing is you convert your ideas into a concrete in incubation center. That is the definition of incubation center, where ideas germinate. Okay, still startup has not come into picture. Remember, we are still talking about translating your ideas into concrete. This is the role of incubation. You are not commercialized. You have given it your idea a reality shape which functions. That's the incubation. And remember, for this, all the support is given by government and colleges through incubation center. Now, assume that your idea has materialized. You are coming out a very good suggestion. You have validated the ideas, but still it is not marketable. You have not come out a given product. Then what you do? First level of satisfaction is there. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm a young engineer. I had an idea. I have validated it. It is useful to the society. But still there is no product. Then where do you go? Next stage is startup. Okay. It's an extension of incubation. Now you want to give a concrete shape. You want to come out a product. Incubation part is over. Government has given the money. Role is over. What do? You look for a startup. But where is again the money? Because same four elements you need. You go to government. Go to bank. Bank is not going to give you money so easily. They really look after everything, because remember, no businessman, no bank will put a penny unless they get something. Okay, that is the second law of thermodynamics. Huh? Okay, when you look for outside help, something will be asked. Now you got a few solutions. You are a very intelligent student, very enterprising, very hardworking. Two things you can do: catch hold somebody who is ready to finance you, but he is not going to finance you cost free. He will ask his share. What do I will finance you. What will I get it? You enter an agreement with him. You tell him, okay, I will give you 10%, 20% share. Rest, my knowledge, my idea, everything. I will have it. But then you can think of, why should I go to an unknown person when my alma mater, my college is available? I will give some share to them. Rest of the things I will keep. That is how the startup starts. Remember, you have still not made a product. Your ideas have germinated. In startup, you completely give shape to your ideas and make it as a marketable product. That is one. So you made a product with the help of startup available in your institute. Okay. But there will be some student, somebody, like I was one of them. I don't know to get into all these kind of commercial matters. I will do one thing. I will sell my ideas to someone. Can be from industry, can be from the college. Again, thing comes to startup, but the entire share is held up by the person who gives you the money and buys it. These are the two ways. I will talk about this more little later. Now, I explained how ideas germinate in incubation center. From incubation center, you come to startup, make a prototype. Okay, because you have financial constraint and other constraint. Your product has come up. You have put all your engineering knowledge. You have put engineering ideas. Prototype has come up. Now you can market it. But again, many of you may not be a good marketing people. Like I am not a good marketing fellow, but industry said something because we market a different kind of thing. Marketing a small equipment or something like a soap and consumable is different from marketing an engineering product. I am not an engineering organization. I am good in marketing engineering product, but not commercial kind of product. Somebody may say that same. I am not good in marketing. I will start an industry. I will have separate marketing cell, separate development cell, and you have become an entrepreneur. Many people are doing the same. They are not good in marketing. They employ the people for marketing. I know some of our students itself, they are doing it. So you have become an entrepreneur with assembly of the people. You got a marketing division, you got a technical division, you got a production division, you have become an entrepreneur. And he becomes entrepreneur, and he does not earns his own living, but he gives employment to various people. It depends on the size of the organization. You may start with few people. Like when I was doing consultancy, I had only one colleague, nothing more than that. In a consultancy, you don't do all kind of fabrication. But when you fabricate it, small industry, you may have 10 people. It may expand. And as it starts going expansion, more and more you become an industrialist. Many people will be having, I am very good in up to entrepreneur or up to incubation. I develop one product, I switch on my attention to second product because I enjoy that. One product has come out, second product comes out. I have mastered that. I have made a prototype. I am able to sell it. I'll move to the third. Like this, you keep on going. And one day you become an industrialist. Biggest engineering giants in India, Bombay people know. Students from Madras may not be knowing. And when I was a student, I was also not knowing because I was the central part of the country, is Larsen and Toubro. They are the biggest engineering giant in India, class organization. And I don't know whether you people have studied the internet last 2 days. Larsen and Toubro is going to recruit 1100 engineers in the coming years. And IIT Bombay people prefer Larsen and Toubro job. I'm from IIT Bombay. Of course, I did not go there for other reasons because they don't make boilers. I am man of boilers. I had an opportunity. Engineering giant, Larsen and Toubro. This is the name of the two people, Larsen and Toubro. They started taking very small kind of engineering contract. Today they are an international giant. That is how the thing starts from an idea stage to big industry. But even when you translate, you need to have a certain policies. So when our college is entering into startup, we have a certain policies. I will not talk all about this policy. I will only tell you some 10 salient features which is useful for you as a student, which I am going to talk about it. Detail of this is available in MHRD portal. I have taken it from there because I attended their lectures and all. From that I have taken it up. So but I have habit of using the right word. Kernel means, you all know tenga in Tamil, coconut. Coconut has a green shell outside. You don't eat it. You don't do anything. After that, there is another shell. Third shell is a hard one, which is used as a fuel. But at the inside, where the white element is there, you eat it is called a kernel. Kernel means the most useful inner things. So technology, kernel and technology, innovation and startup will be the kernel of engineering education. No more just appearing for the education, get high CGPA and then think I got a job, end of it. It is applicable both for students and faculties. Performance indicator to judge this achievement will be worked out. Means whether you are really contributing to the kernel. Okay, it will be done by case to case. But judgment will be contribution to innovation and technology. We have seen that even in IITs. It is not necessary that the students who get IITs have 10 point or something, who get 10 out of 10. Anna University College, I have seen 9.5 and all. IITs used to have something called 10 pointers. It considered to be the best. But it's not always that 10 pointer is the best in life. In fact, in IIT, many of you may be seeing in the month of April, May, when the JEE results are declared, people go and see their rank. In the history of IIT, there will be only one student who topped JEE. He continuously was the topper all 5 years. But today it's not known where he is. Really you shine when you are contributing to technology and innovation. And onwards, that is going to be the main point of our evaluation system. Okay, I think I skipped one. Most of the students will love this second one. No supervisory approach will be adopted on startup and innovation, and individual autonomy will be granted for candidates participating in innovation and startup. You will have freedom to work on innovation and startup. No policing. I will not tell more about it, but the students understand it very clearly. Okay? Nobody will sit on your head in a class later vanda velila po. It will not be there. You are interested, you are working on innovation, work on. You are interested in the class, come and study. You will have a freedom to, full autonomy will be given to work on innovation. Of course, you will have a mentor for that because formalities are needed. One other thing for me to join Sairam in the college also itself, okay, after I'm an IITian, it's a different thing. When I came here, the resources were so vast, it really impressed me. Sairam College will, in principle, use all these resources and you will get necessary impetus. Impetus means help. You will get all the help to use the resources, which is very vast in Sairam College. Okay. This is another important thing for our youth students. Startup will be encouraged as a career option over and above placement. Why do you people join here? Because placement is good. Your parents look for that. I will get a job. My son will get a job in TCS somewhere. Life is made. But let me tell you, friends, with my own experience, life is not made when you get a job. Trouble begins when you get a job. So life is not over when your job is here. Okay. Here, emphasis will go more on startup and innovation and not only on the placement. Career option has to be startup and placement. Sorry, startup and innovation and not just a job. And if you are good in startup, good in innovation, you will be rewarded in many other ways. Maybe scholarship, fees cut payment, something will be there. It has been, we have worked out this policy yesterday. It will also appear in our portal. CEO has seen all this, which will be coming up in the coming days. Okay, so you will get lot of incentive for innovation and startup. Roadmap to achieve this objective has been described in our mission statement. Mission statement also will appear in our portal. We may fine tune it. I already completed all this, which has been put yesterday in our portal, but we may modify it from time to time. Organizing participant MSME, idea, competition, hackathon, all this will give lot of rewards. Of course, our students are quite good in hackathon and other things because many people come and discuss this with me in last few years I have seen, and they are getting very good awards. This will be encouraged. Yeah. Now, from where the resources will come? MHRD is not going to give you finance. Money has to come from some others. Money will be given by various other bodies like MSME, IEDC, DST. So many bodies are there. In fact, when we go to them, we find that money is there. Nobody is there to use that because we lack in innovation. Go to MSME, they are ready to finance. Go to DST, they are ready to finance. So many things. Even private industries are ready to finance. I know my friends who are not, my association South is not very high. I'm from the western part of the country because I studied in IIT Bombay. Lot of my friends, they do innovation by taking money from Tata organization, Kirloskar, Garware, and they have come out with lot of big industries. Even private organization fund for it. Those, they will be the fund who will be financing resources. Most important for you, when person starts something, then he starts thinking, sir, if I fail, what will happen to my career? What will happen to rest of my life? There is something called failure tolerance. MHRD accepts it. You have failed. Your failure need not be due to technical reason. Failure can be due to marketing. Failure can be due to because you started before. This is what happened is when I started something about 45 years back. You come before the time. So you have failed. So what happens? Your life will not come to an end. Some corrective action will be taken. This is one of the most important things. Another one is research, innovation, and startups are 9 to 5, not 9 to 4 jobs. These where IITs are different. And I had been talking about this to our management principals and other things. In IIT, when we do the research, we work up to 3 o'clock in the morning. There is nothing, no time limit. You come to hostel only for your food, go back to the lab. Anywhere you can work. Whole night you can work. 24/7. All this has to be 24/7 availability. Even now our college gives 24/7 facility for BADA and BAHA. It may be extended for startup and innovation. But remember one thing, startup and innovation are not 9 to 4 job. Research is not 9 to 4 job. You have to be ready for 24/7. And college is expected to give this. And I have written that except national holidays. It will be very useful for you. IIT Bombay Library closes only 3 days in a week. 26th January, 15th August, now 2nd October. Every other day is a working day and 24/7. That culture has to develop. One thing what you need is to start a incubation or startup is seed fund. Even film stars get seed fund, so you should understand what it is. Suppose you have an idea. You go to MSME or some other financing body. They are not going to give you 100%. What is the guarantee that you will work on that and come out with something? So they ask for something like 10% or 15% of money to be put in from your end. College is ready to do that. Whatever we have sent the proposal for MSME, it has yet to materialize, and it is because of this pandemic and other thing. Initial 10% will be colleges agreed to fund it because no student can afford for it. That's called seed money. This will be funded and encouragement is given to that. Another one thing, academic credit will be granted to successful startup ventures. You come out with a successful innovation, successful startup, you will get a credit for academic thing. You will not be asked for attendance. You can go and work for it. You will get some points for it, which will bring up your academic credits. Okay, these are only the 10 points I have mentioned. It is quite a vast one. How to evaluate it? You will work out from time to time. How to evaluate this kind of thing? Quite a big job. Because if your startup is an engineering one, it should get a different credit than the consumer items. Both are different scenarios. Okay. Now, one more important thing is always a faculty has to be associated with it, because your student come here in first year it's very difficult unless a very bright student. Second year is also very difficult because second year you have all the difficult subjects like thermodynamics, which I teach, strength of material, kinematics, all time goes in that. Real work starts only from third year and fourth year. You may not be able to complete because incubation takes about 3 years. So a faculty has to be associated. When a faculty is associated, his time goes. So what happens? Faculties are entitled for sabbatical leaves. They may get a sabbatical leaves. Okay. So these are the startup policies. And now I will share slight of some of my experience. I will not go very great in detail. See, when I graduated, there is nothing called startup. Industrial situation was absolutely different. And only one or two things I will tell about my career. My whole education is in power plant. My doctorate is in combustion. My MTech is in power engineering. We all started some industry, joined some industry. And industry used to prefer MTech and all IITs. It was a boiler manufacturing industry. And I will not name them. We went there. I was put in project and marketing. And one of my colleagues who was from a different IIT, but he was in refrigeration air conditioning. He was put in boiler design. It hurt me. I was just 21 year old. I went to my boss and I told him, sir, what is this? This fellow is an MTech in refrigerator air conditioning. He doesn't know how to look at a steam table. You are putting in boiler design. You are putting me in project and marketing. When all these things comes, boss will give you pep talk. No, 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 no. You would like to retire as a director. If you are in design, you will become only a manager. All these pep talks they will give. And that's it. Okay, you come back because as a 21-year-old boy, what can you can't argue with your bosses? But in few months, I switched over to job, which was given an R&D, which was another organization. But suddenly I found, what is this? I am from frying pan to fire. And my boss was also another professor. I will not name him. But I found he's a technically more incompetent. We are being baller people. Some of you may understand because you have attended my power plant class. Some of you might have. Indian coal has a very poor calorific value. It has never more than 3,000, 4,000. We were designing a boiler. I took it up all this 3,000 because I had a power plant man. I had experience in my previous organization. I went to my boss. He looked at it. Vaidyanathan, how have you taken calorific? I said, sir, this is what it is. No, no, no. He opened a foreign book. Look, calorific value is 17,500. I said, sir, it is an American coal. You can't apply for Indian. I was holding my head like this. Anyhow, I understood what it is. But this happens in every job. Good luck to me. Somebody joined who was from Bikura. Bikura stands for the British Coal Utilization Research Association, and he has worked in National Coal Board in UK. He was an expert in coal. He said, Vaidyanathan, this is what the situation. Let us do our own. We started a boiler industry, absolutely innovative. There was no startup. I was less than 25. Only thing having was the enthusiasm. No money in the pocket, except your head. Nothing. Yes, we did it. Condition was very different in the country. I will not like to tell that. Many of you know what was the condition in 75, 77. But there was one thing. Discipline was there in country and more honesty. We could bring it up. It really came out well without any kind of support. I wish the kind of support today government gives, even 10% was available in those days. It was not there. It came out quite well. But as I said, I was not a person who was fit for running the industry. You see, establishing an industry and running the industry, they are two different things. Establishing is more innovative, knowledge based and all. Running is you have to deal with union, bank, customer, everyday may not enjoy. When everything came out, then I, like negotiating, I told my boss. They sponsored me for PhD. He said, you are interested in that? Go back. Go to IIT. And I being IIT, I did IIT. I was taken in IIT, I did. But it gave me a lot of things. Only one thing I will share. If somebody asks me, what is the best thing you have got from all this? Or what you are today, it is only due to two things. My education IIT and establishing the industry. It gave me so much of confidence because I applied my thermodynamics, I applied my heat transfer, I applied fluid mechanics, strength of material. And as I told, our days were different. There was not so many books of strength of material. There was only one by Timoshenko and Young. Mechanical students will understand. There was no power plant book, only one by Morse. It's not like university professor writing a book and things appearing from that. There was only one book on thermodynamics. Very difficult to understand. We came from that stage. But when I started industry, I could apply all my fundamentals. And my students would have seen that in our college when somebody comes from industry and it tells, oh, industries are different. I object. Industries are what you study in your college. These are not two different things. So, a student like you may ask, sir, what do I get by a startup? What you will get in a startup can be two things. One, tangible advantage, another is non-tangible advantage. Tangible means you can quantify, you can measure it. Non-tangible is you cannot measure that. Tangible advantage is long run, you will have financial security. And remember, financial security gives you a lot of things in India. You become a better person. You will become more magnanimous. So definitely a financial security is really needed. So don't write it off. I'll one more slide I will. If you are a successful, you will get a reward from institute. By institute doesn't mean our own institute, various institutes all over the society. Freedom from hunting for the job. It gives you, say, you'll never look for that. Non-tangible advantage, they are far more. You are a different personality. You look back, you will have a sense of fulfillment. And this I call it biggest achievement of mine. You look back your life, you feel that you have done something. You are happy all the time. You don't lose your temper. I can go in great details on this, but I will not talk about it because I don't have much of the time. I only want to talk two more slides. Your self-confidence will be extremely high. These are the things which this kind of your own things, which is a technically also sound gives you. Okay. Now, this point let me not discuss. Maybe some other time we will discuss. Like students keep on coming. It's the biggest taboo. This I have seen. The biggest taboo in Indian society, in particular in South India, is that society. We don't respect knowledge, creativity. When you do something on your own, your parents cannot like it because on 31st of every month, you will not get a check. I have said this. In fact, I normally tell this in a different manner. Particularly in South India, we really look for a government job. You get a government job, very nicely, your life is taken care, and you will get retirement benefit also, particularly the health care. But this is not the very right thing to do. Those days have gone. Even government pension and everything is getting reduced. Organization like Baba Atomic Research Center, where people used to join at one time in our days, because of central government job, they don't give pension anymore. Those days are changing. Why to talk like this? I have seen this with apology to all lady faculties. Please don't mind it that many of you may be mothers. Suppose in a home there are two sons. One is a chief engineer, another is a marketing manager. When they come home, mother will give coffee first to the marketing manager and not to the chief engineer because he comes home with a blue jeans, oily hands. She may even tell, "Oh, kayan bitwa," and marketing manager may come with the best car in the company and many other best things. This social taboo is the biggest thing, according to me, in innovation and startup. This we have to overcome as a society. If I hurt any person, I apologize it, but I have said this. At the same time, very little time left out. I will just tell you people not to jump in startup. We did it. Those days were different. Okay, but it has taught me quite a lot of things. And I can tell you, best thing what I have seen is that I'm a baller man. I have seen most honest people of my life when I was working in that. Absolutely honest, never paid one naya paisa as a bribe. And I think that is my biggest achievement. Do not jump into without adequate preparation. Technically prepare yourself. Preferably possible have a backup because when you come at the end of the day, you want your dinner. And if I quote Swami Vivekananda, he said that for a hungry man, God is in the loaf of bread. If you don't get it, everything goes. So please don't jump without preparation. Do proper technical preparation. If possible, have a financial backup so that your hearth is kept burning. That's very essential. Complete your engineering design before jumping into the venture. Technically, you should be very, very clear before you take it up. Utilize all the resources. Remember, money is a very scarce resource and very valuable. Organization which funds you, they will take out every penny from you. So you have to be very careful. Get some expertise in financial management also. Okay. Because it's already 12:05. So my time I have just finished. I would like to close down with this, but I have gone different from others. I have not quoted the startup policy of MHRD. Anyone want to discuss? in our college. They can always come and discuss. So, Professor, I would like to shut down from here, and
Yes, sir.
maybe you can take it over. If Professor Ranganathan, you are able to hear, I would
Yes, sir.
like to
Yes,
shut
sir.
down.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thanks to all the participants.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Thank you for
oh.
sharing
Audible, sir.
really
Audible.
wonderful presentation. Thank you for sparing your time, sir. Really, we have got a lot of inputs from the startup policy and a lot of aspects. I think students would have really gained a lot from the knowledge that has been shared across. And I really thank Professor Sir for sharing and taking the session in a wonderful way. So again, not taking much of your time, I request Madam to probably start the session. I'll probably end this recording so that we can restart the recording again if it is fine for all. So again, because of short of time, I'm not extending my talk. I'll just stop the recording here. So once